So, y'all, I just saw a video where there was a woman that was talking about people who don't have an identity. Let me explain something to women who don't understand this. It's not that other women don't want to be your friend because you don't have a sense of identity. No, 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 no. That's the base part. The truth is, there are women who will never understand things that some women just get. Some people don't want to be your friend. Has nothing to do with they think you're a terrible person. Is it the third? Baby, some people don't have the capacity to deal with you. And what that means is some women hate it in their minds when they think of you as more than what you think of them. Meaning they think, oh, I like this person's sense of style or fashion or beauty is the third. And because so many of us who are beautiful women have experienced people copying who we are, copying our essence, copycat us to death, run off with our personalities. When other people meet us, they think that we are the fake ones because they don't understand that other people who we have at that point had no knowledge was doing this, was going around stealing our essence, stealing the identity of who we actually are, and performing that to other people. So by the time you meet me, the real deal, the person that's really like this, you think I'm fake. You think I'm the liar. And nothing's more funny than when they finally realize you're the person that's telling the truth. And I don't have the capacity, nor do I want to be majority of women's friends because they can't see that. I know that this is true. They cannot see that. So they think, oh, you don't have identity. Yes, I do. You're just around a bunch of people who are copying other people's identity because you don't have the discernment to see that. If you knew how many people really are not themselves and are copycat versions of other people, and how it's easy to spot, patience. Patience will outbeat everything. I'm telling y'all, if you just sit there and had the patience to wait long enough to see it, that's why you can't tell. It's a lot of women that cannot see this. And because a lot of these women will go around energy harvesting or siphoning off of other women and try to use that energy to push themselves to like catapult and get there first. That's why you think that that person is really who you think they are and they're not, babe. You just don't have the discernment to see that they're the fake one. That's why you think a lot of us is fake. No, what's around you is fake. You are being fooled. You don't have discernment, so you can't see that that's what they've always done. That's why a lot of you are fooled by the circle that's around you. Had you been alone, or should I say, had some of you been strong enough to stand alone, your eyes would have shown you that. You wouldn't have been so easily deceived by people who are just copycats. Those are the fake ones. Those are the people with no real identity. But this happens so much in the world. This happens in the world that so many people don't even realize half the celebrities are just as fake. They copying an everyday modern person and you thinking that's who they really are. No, babe, they're literally copying someone's identity. There's a lot of them that do that. Wait till you see the real them. That's why y'all so shocked when you're like, this person isn't what I thought they were. That's because they've always been pretending to be someone else. Or they stole someone else's life, literally. You ever seen people who steal people's life? I'll show you what this looks like. Identity theft, identity fraud. There's a reason why that's such a big business. Because some people hate themselves so much that they see what you are so greatly. And not just potential. This is the reality of you at this point. They can't even fathom your highest potential. Do you understand that? So because this happens, you have a lot of people like, oh, they act like this, they act like that. No, that person has always copied someone else. That person has always tried to steal from someone else. Because y'all just don't have the discernment, you don't know who's the copycat. That's why you're shocked when you meet the real deal and you can't believe that's who I really am. Or even the other women I know, they've stolen people's personalities, ran off with other women's energy that do not belong to them. Then, so I tell y'all, call your power back to you every day. Okay? Then people are shocked when they're like, what? Yes, babe, because y'all don't have discernment, real discernment, true discernment. You don't. You think that you know what you're talking about. Most of you do not. You are not experienced on this subject level. You're not. And if y'all really knew the level of people who are walking around in this current moment, copying someone else's essence, copying who somebody else really is, because you can't see that that's who that person is. Instead, you think, oh no, they don't have an identity. No, babe, that person's identity was stolen. You better clock it. A lot of you cannot tell the difference. See, I can tell the difference. How I know this is true? I've seen people that try to push me out of environments because I realized they were walking around pretending to be like me, acting like me, trying to talk like me, trying to look like me, trying to do me, thinking they could be me better than me. Then when other people would meet me, they're like, oh, y'all alike. We're nothing alike. That person's a copycat. Nothing's crazier than when this hits people's minds. You're going to see this in real time. You're going to see people's masks fall off in real time. And y'all are going to realize how many people's real identity have been stolen from them. I'll give y'all an example. Have you ever seen homeless people out on the street crying, looking crazy, crawled out? I'm talking about laid out on the street. You ever seen people like that? Those people ain't crazy. You know what those people are? Those people are perfect examples of people who stole their identity. And no matter how many times that person tried to get help, they kept striking that person down, striking that person down, striking that person down. So anytime they try, eventually that person gave up. That's what people gonna learn about me, baby. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a punk. I'm not going nowhere. So you might as well go ahead and some of y'all remove them false identities off of you, because a lot of you about to have a real problem. This is a real awakening. This ain't something that people be lying to y'all about. Y'all think that's just, Looney Tune stuff, right? You think, it's just only spiritual. No, this is about to be the new reality. Y'all about to find out who really fucking fake. And it's going to scare some of you because you're not going to believe how long some of these people have walked in other people's identities. You have no idea the friends, the people they're around, the things they've conjured up off of other people's energies, other people's real identity. Now that the real people is coming out, folks are like, what? Correct. It happens to men too. If you knew men who were I'll say this, if men knew the level of other men that are jealous of you as well, that will not only copy everything you are, they'll try to get you up out of here. And I'm talking about, that's why they try to do that. That's why y'all don't understand how big identity theft is. It's not just about stealing credit profiles, this is the third. No, baby. It's about stealing people's true essence of what they are. And then other people will walk around wearing the real identity of who some people are. But see, a lot of people ain't going to see it that way. They going to think, nah, that person made it, until you meet the real deal. Then that other person ain't gonna have no choice for that mask to fall off. Because, baby, you can't be a better than me than who I really am. What people are naturally walking in their true divine right and their true God-given personalities and who they actually are. That's why a lot of y'all believe that some people are fake. When in reality, no. What you are around is a bunch of pretenders, a bunch of frauds who fooled you. And what's that saying? People would rather believe anything else than to believe that they have been fooled by some of these people they have let near, dear, and close to them. Baby, they are frauds. And y'all about to find that out. Until the next one.